Yeah. My headset's on. We got no audio. I'm telling them right now.
So what's happening? We could hear it in the headset. I took the... Yeah. I shut it off. No, just there's only one headset.
And welcome in, fans of NWHL hockey, for the final time here in 2019 in Warrior Ice Arena. The Boston Pride and the Metropolitan Riveters doing battle. I'm Sam Fryman, proud to be with you on the call once again on Twitch TV. We thank you all for tuning in. And the Riveters, they come into this game after having a full month off to prepare for the Boston Pride, who are still atop the NWHL standings at 9-0-0. Looking to make that mark 10. And the last time the Riveters were in play in the NWHL, they were in this building, took a 5-3 loss to Boston, and really started to come back in that third period, and that's probably going to be the key to the Boston Pride. A lot of players this week were talking about, yes, the team has obviously been very successful, 9 wins out of 9 games, but it's all come in spurts, whether it's been really quick bursts of offense, defense, and then there's been moments where they've also just collapsed. So putting in a full 60 minutes is going to be the biggest key for a Pride victory here tonight against a Riveters team who on paper you definitely can't take lightly, even given their record of 1-4-0. Their 5th road game out of 6 games. And between the pipes for them, they will start. Number 70, Sam Walther, faced upwards of 100 shots in 2 games last time out here against the Boston Pride. She comes in with a goals against average of 5.36 and an 8.82 save percentage. And on the other end, after taking a game off to Victoria Hansen, Lavisa Solander back in net. Goals against average 1.76 and a 9.49 save percentage. But the puck is dropped, and we are underway here on Twitch TV. Boston trying to control off the opening draw. Brand sends it in the middle. It was beyond Dempsey. And Riv's going to try to take it back the other way. It's top line against top line to start out here at Warrior. Pride in those bright yellow jerseys. White with navy blue trim for the Rivs as they try to cut it into the middle. That was a good attempt from Kaylee Hutchison, the Hicksville, New York native. Also a product of the University of Maine. And in the corner, it's picked up now. And trying to get it free from the half wall. Packer trying to turn it down low. That's where she gets it. Fratkin all over the body and poked away at the side of the net. Comes out free, but Hutchison couldn't get a shot off. And now Brand will go back the other way, and Christina Pettini will dump it in on Walther as the Pride make a few changes behind the play. And should mention just a couple of the healthy scratches for both teams as Mary Parker picks that up. Lauren Kelly out for the Boston Pride, a big staple on their defense. So Whitney Wren and I believe also Marissa Raspa going to be getting some action. And then for the Metropolitan Riveters as they try to work out of their own end. Anna Keys going to be the new player in for them, and Kira Dosdell going to be the healthy scratch today as Keys almost picks it up right on cue at the top point. For now, the Pride will work it back out. And as I see in the chat also, how about a great call to Lavisa Solander being named to the Swedish national team. A great call-up for her joining the Four Nations tournament, and she will go there in December. As the Pride still trying to get the offense going. Turnaround try by Wolfowler, still free in the blue paint, trying to poke away at his Lang, but now it's lost in the skates of Keys, and she will start up with a few of her teammates. The ever-dangerous RIT line now out for the Metropolitan Riveters. That is Rushton, Cornine, and Baker. We're 2 minutes gone now in period number 1. And Pride going to take it right back in. Letzi Lang, she halts at the circle, sends it back out top, was looking for Taves, couldn't quite get a shot through. But can't be cleared out by the Rivs. Suliotis Gonna wrap it around and send it farther down low. Tape's gonna pick it up, goes right to the front of the net, but unable to poke it home was Lang once again. She's really climbed up the goals and points list in the NWHL standings as Lexi Lang. She's now up to 13, just behind a few of her teammates, Jillian Dempsey and McKenna Brand, who lead on 15 and 17 points respectively. About 3 minutes gone, Pride trying to set up again. Here's Tori Sullivan trying to get it, but now an opportunity for the Rivs, poking away at it to go back the other way. A combination of Carton Bay and Shadalova, the two Russian-speaking natives. Now it's picked up at neutral ice. Shadalova, intercepted pass in the middle by Dempsey. And she's going to try to go right back in, but halting her progress, Cassie Dunn. And Rivs trying to touch up, going right back in, but we're going to get our first penalty call of the game here, and it's going to be McKenna Brand, the offender, for interference at 16:52. So early on in this game, Riveters to the power play. A look at their numbers this season, 16% facing a Boston Pride penalty kill that is at 88.2%. They've been very successful. And the Boston Pride also, as I've mentioned, have scored the first goal in every single game they've played so far this year. It's going to be Mary Parker taking it against Hutchison. Ribs win it back to the point. Looking for a shot through and fired right on the doorstep. Going in front was Kate Leary. Almost received that one from Dunn. Packer keeps it in though. Watched closely by Emily Fluke. Tries to backhand it into the middle. Have trouble. Right to Leary. Fired. Safe Solander. Good early opportunities for the Swedish goaltender, and now it's tied up in the corner. Pride really having to fight off the Rivs so far. And just to update who got the penalty, that's McKenna Brand in the box for interference. Got a clear back down ice for the Pride early. Minute 21 to go on the Rivs power play, 16:11 to go in period number 1, still waiting for our first score. Madison Packer, the captain, up the middle. Now as he switched to the left wing. Hutchison couldn't quite get it in. And now here's Lexi Lang on a break. Almost went through the skates and almost interfered with diving out, I should say, to make that play. Sam Walther, as possibly a no more dangerous short-handed player in the NWHL than Lexi Lang. And that's the move she really loves to do, just swinging in from the right wing and getting that wrist shot off. So final 45 seconds now, first power play opportunity of the game for the Rivs. They halt now at the half wall, trying to turn away with it, and now back the other way to the races. Marissa Raspa now just turns with it, getting her first minutes in this contest, and Brittany Wren will send it all the way down ice. 15:16 to go in the period, 23 seconds left on the power play for the Rivs, 16% coming into this game in that statistic. And here is Rebecca Morris. She drops it off now. Kendall Cornine has had a goal in each of the last 3 games against the Pride. She's very dangerous. Rushton tees one up from the point, goes well wide of the net. Dempsey will get to that, but not out as she was trying to hit Mastel with a pass. And that will do it. As McKenna Brand is out of the box, we're back to even strength hockey here at Warrior. The Metropolitan still with control. They get it into the offensive zone. Whitney Wren almost double teamed there. And now the Pride will work back out. Alyssa Wolfeiler in the middle, trying to work around Rushton. Now swings right. Top of the circle. Firing a shot through was Rowe. Couldn't quite connect. Far side corner. Emily Fluke trying to do battle with it with Michelle Simon. And now back to the point. Rowe looking to send it through. Bunch of traffic, only got to Rushton. Now back up top, Rowe once again. She shoots one through. Looking for that deflection from Fluke. The net front presence, really key for Boston so far. Mary Parker got her pocket picked down low, but Fluke will send it back to her, trying to get a pass out front with the backhand. Now with the half wall, Cornine trying to go through. Gets it back to Parker. Numbers up ice for the Boston Pride. Couldn't quite send it into the middle for Wolfeiler. And Rushton can't clear it back out. 13:44 to go in the period. Back up top, Parker. Top of the slot, well, backhanded through. Tried to hit Bender down low. And finally, the Riveters peel back to center ice. Mallory Rushton from the right wing. Now switches to the middle. Forced wide on entry. Almost coughs off control of the puck at the half wall, and Boston Pride will push it farther back out. So a good bit of back and forth action. And Carly Taves going to take it right back in from the corner, giving up. Good application of double-team defense for Metropolitan so far, and they've really remained in close in a lot of games this year with the Boston Pride. You go back to October 5th, the very first game of the season, actually had a lead until late, but here's Lang taking one away. Wrist shot comes out. Carly Taves, big save! Sam Walther as she gets it out of there. As a combination of Taves and Lang right on the doorstep, and remaining the brick wall is Sam Walther with 12:40 to go in this period. You know how many shots the Boston Pride can put up against her, and they've already had their chances trying to get that all-important first goal. Now right in front of the Boston bench, Taves able to dig it out, and Fratkin gets it to the opposite wing. Stretching forward is Soliotis, but stepping onto that puck first, Nicole Arnold. She will go right back through the middle, backhands it in deep. Fratkin picks it up and try to work it out. Impossible numbers for Boston up ice, but they weren't able to do so. Now Soliotis takes it in, tried to drop it off for Brent. Again, a hard hit by Packer. And I think that may earn her a trip to the sin bin, and yes, it will. So with that exactly 12 minutes to go in the period, the captain, Madison Packer, going to be sent, and it will become the first American Giant power play for the Boston Pride. 23.7% this year on the power play, but facing a very good Metropolitan PK at 70.4%. And right off the draw, they try to clear. They will not do so. Interference, the official penalty on Packer, so Pride will go to work now in the umbrella scheme. Fratkin tees up that slap shot. Couldn't get one through. And Rivs get an early clear out. So 11:39 to go now in period number one. And it did look like Soliotis may have lost the edge on there, and definitely a good call from Anya Packer in that one, saying she would never, referring to Madison Packer, but now right back in, trying the wraparound on the Boston Pride there. And that was Dempsey on it, but another clear from the Rivs. They've got 1:13 more to kill, as Fratkin gonna wait for some changes and start up. And Jillian Dempsey opposite wing just past Soliotis, so taking it back short-handed now with some room is Leary. From the circle now skates right in on Solander. And she didn't see the puck, but she makes the save. No whistle has been called. And now it does so, as both Fratkin and Leary were looking behind Solander to determine, was the puck still free? Did she not have it saved up in the pads? But good awareness by Kaylee Fratkin as well as Lavisa Solander to keep that puck out. So approaching the halfway point now in period number one. And again, fans, we want you to get involved here on Twitch TV. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, and who might get the first goal in this one. That's trying to answer that question quickly was Colleen Murphy. But now the Pride will take it back the other way. Still on the power play. Penalty assessed to Madison Packer, but a couple good shorthanded chances right now for the Rivs. As Leary has it on the half wall, but now Pride get control. Again, can't get the pass to Parker into the middle there, and stepping onto it, Brooke Avery from Concord, New Hampshire. One of the many New England natives in this game. 21 seconds left. Mary Parker takes it in at the left point. Opposite end for Alyssa Wolfeiler. Bender tried to get one that was almost deflected by Parker. A good shot from the point. Now it's gotten down low in the final 10 seconds. Riveters looking to clear a couple of players, lose it in their skates. Trying to step onto it was Fluke, but now held back at the point. 2-1. Madison Packer out of the box. We're back to even strength. Pride still with control though. Emily Fluke switches places with Wolfeiler. She's run into the boards by Morse. And back up top, Mastel couldn't fire a shot through. Came down, she didn't see where it was. That allows a break for Leary. One-on-one now, trying a good drag with the backhand. She scores! What moves Kate Leary? And with 9:40 to go in period number one, It is the first time all season a team not named the Boston Pride has struck first. So make it 1-0 Rivs. So Kate Leary, that is going to be goal number 3 for her, point number 6. And now if you're the Boston Pride, this is very unfamiliar territory, playing from behind. It's the first time all season they haven't scored the first goal in this game, and if it runs out for another 9.5 minutes, could be the first time this season they haven't scored a goal, period, in the first 20 minutes. We talk about that month of rest for the Metropolitan Riveters, if it was going to be a good thing or a bad thing. They've already broken run streak so far, trying to break another in handing the Boston Pride their first loss. But still plenty to go in this game, and the Pride are buzzing. Right at the side of the net, trying to backhand it free. Unable to do so was Sullivan, but Fratkin holds it in to the corner. Right back to Fratkin. We'll look to wrap around the net now. And behind the gauge, Carly Taves stapled in there. A couple of players trying to get it free. It goes right out in front, sticked out by Walther. And the Rivs will work back up with some numbers. Rimmed around the wall, 8.5 minutes to go in the period. And the Riveters have struck first, courtesy of Kate Leary. They have control now. Mallory Rushton swings right to the circle, now cuts in. Almost took a hook there, but the Pride get control. Here's Tori Sullivan, right wing, back into the middle. Brandt lost control of the puck, and Rushton will go right back the other way. And easily on Solander, she makes the save with 8:09 to go in period number 1. And I'm sorry for not updating the goal graphic there. There we go. Was caught up in the commentary a little bit. Thank you, fans, for catching my mistake on that one. And time on the clock, 8:09 to go in period number 1. And you will have to forgive me. It's the first time all season that the Pride have not scored the first goal. A little slow on that button. But this becomes our first media timeout. Gives us a chance to talk about just a couple of the keys going into this game. And for the Rivs, to me, it was really stayed disciplined. They got into a lot of penalty trouble the last series against Boston, and they have made only one trip to the box so far, and they've gotten the first early goal in this game. You know both teams have speed. You know both teams can pass really well. And I think it's just about shooting the puck. The Rivs have done so, and they've got the lead in this game. McKenna Brand going back the other way. Gets it to the right wing, now right back into the middle. Fires, big save! Walther on Dempsey! Absolute robbery! But now they stretch out and the puck's still free. What plays, Sam Walther! And going right back the other way, Boston just trying to get some momentum in this one. Rivs seemingly breaking apart every bit of it so far. Brand now with some room from the right wing, has it for the circle, sends it in the middle. Dempsey shoots just wide again. Picked up on the side of the cage. This top line really starting to go to work. Dempsey keeps in that clearing attempt. And now down low. Brand looking for a centering pass, almost hit Dempsey once again. How many more chances is she going to have? And the Brick Walther coming out strong. And that pass picked off by Cornine. She tries to shoot one in. Only yellow jerseys around her. The Pride still struggling to clear with 7 minutes to go in the period. And Mary Parker up ice, almost off the glass. Allows Baker to go right back in, but she was offside, so that faceoff will come back out to the neutral zone. And I'm seeing in the chat also some of you fans coming over from that Buttes Whale game. Apologies that the Nightbot has been a bit of a demon this evening, but hopefully you've been a bit less restricted with those Bitmoji. But now look out, 2-on-1. Mary Parker and Wolfweiler. Parker looking past across. She scores! Perfect setup across from Mary Parker to Alyssa Wolfweiler. They get one past Sam Walther. Tie game at Warrior Ice Arena with 6:38 to go in period number 1. Well, you know the Pride, they weren't going to stay quiet for long. And it's the third line that gets them sparked. Alyssa Wolfweiler, goal number 3, point number 11. Coming into this game, and she has it tied up, and Mary Parker, she's going to continue that point streak. 4 of the last 5 games she has shown up on the stat sheet. So brand new game now, and we'll see who takes more of the momentum. Sullivan, she tries to go to the middle, and almost getting a deflection once again was Lexi Lang in the corner. Riveters pick it right back up. And Pride going right back in. Sullivan tried to backhand it, but no one was home, so gotten free to Brooke Avery. She will try to clear up ice, and she does so. So a tie game now, courtesy of Alyssa Wolfweiler, the former Connecticut Whale. As that one goes dumped in offside, stoppage with 5:53 to go in the period. And I definitely have to agree with you, Obelia. Mary Parker, a great season she's had with the Pride so far. As you saw just glimpses of it last season, didn't quite get the ice, as much ice time as this season, but she's really turned into a massive offensive threat for this Boston Pride team. She gets on the stat sheet with an assist to that goal. And going back the other way. Boston trying to get it out of their own end. And some very good stick-to-itiveness on the defense. There's a big stretch pass, just went beyond McKenna Brand there, or else she could have been loose and off to the races. Goes hard into the boards there along with Rebecca Morse. And back up ice once again to Leary. Trying to swing in once again for the left wing, drops it up for Hutchison. Couldn't get a powerful shot off. And Pride will work back in transition. Again, stretch pass just beyond Brand. And that's been a big key to their success the last few games. I haven't quite seen it so far in this first period. Those passes being crisp, tape to tape, and connecting for this Boston Pride team. But they are all tied up in this game. 4:43 to go in period number 1. Near side corner trying to get it out of there, Brooke Baker. She sends it around. Amanda Keys couldn't quite pick that up, but now she gets right back to it. Top of the slot, ran into a combination of Boston Pride jerseys. They can't get the stretch pass out, though. Now forced to touch up Mallory Rushton, but she might have just got her stick beyond the blue line there, so another stoppage. And just looking at some of the comments, up to 270 on the live viewers right now, so we thank you. And first goal of this game, I wouldn't have put my money on the Rivs, but if I had to pick an athlete, I certainly would have picked Kate Leary as one of them. And Pride going back the other way, a good toe drag there. Mary Parker trying to get into the middle, Wolfweiler picks it back up. To the point, Whitney Wren, couple of fancy moves to go around some players. Now she steps right back in, fired in on Walther, goes 3, almost in, and somehow kept out again, touched with a skate of Walther. Whitney Wren, an amazing individual effort there with the sticks moves, got it right to the front of the cage. But again, Sam Walther remains strong. Unbelievable that that didn't go in. Riveters going to take it right back the other way. Avery, she sends one, easily patted aside by Salander. And almost poked out of there. Picked right back up. Another shot fired through by Brooke Avery. And again, a good block out in front. Fluke going to dump it in at the end of her shifts. Carly Taves, the lone Pride player out there to chase it. And the Rivs going to get out. So good back and forth action in a tie game here. Raspa sends it into the opposite end. Lexi Lang trying to pick it up there. Getting some good work with this rookie line is Marissa Raspa. I think your first start in quite a while as that shot fired through by Soliotis couldn't quite be hit by Lexi Lang. Now the half wall, Madison Packer picks it up. She will look to work back out. To the wing again for Leary. Cross-ice pass, but not one of her teammates home, but Madison Packer will pick up that mistake, go right back in. Soliotis right in front of her, now stabled against the half wall. She's able to dig it out, tried to center it for Leary. Rebound try comes out to Hutchison. She missed as well. And now right at the side of the cage, Salander will cover with 2:22 remaining in period number 1. So both goalies tested early and often in this game, and they've been more than up to the challenge. And one off the draw. Pride looking to go back the other way. McKenna Brand banks it off the wall, was looking for Coutinho. Couldn't get into the middle for Dempsey. The Pride just keep it in there. Dempsey from the left point gets it down low. Just lost in Brand's skates, or else she could have been right out in front of the net with Coutinho. The top line going right back to work. Dempsey trying to get it over to Brand, but just wide of the cage. McKenna Brand beside the cage, right out in front to Dempsey again. The one-time wrist shot just went wide of Walters' cage. Minute 45 to go in period number 1. Good back and forth battle. We're in a tie game. Shuttle over across to Nicole Arnold. She can't quite send it through. Now we'll take it all by herself. Poked out of there. And Mary Parker loses it to Cornine. She tries to work in against Kaylee Fratkin, but a tough customer to get past in any game situation is Kaylee Fratkin. And Pride with the third line now, can't get much past center, but Emily Fluke picks up that passing attempt, and now Wolfiler in with Parker. 2-on-1, Parker for the circle, she scores! Mary Parker with just a minute 4 left in period number 1, sends it to my favorite place, top shelf. And the Boston Pride take their first lead of this game. It is 2-1. And Mary Parker, she continues to climb the goal-scoring list in both the NWHL and on this Boston Pride team. That is goal number 8, point number 12. And there has been seldom a hotter goal scorer in the league over the last few weeks than number 7 for Boston. And now Taves trying for more. She sends it through the 5-hole. And do they say good goal on that one? I believe they do. It's in the cage right now, but the ref gave sort of a good goal and then not so good goal signal. And I'm not seeing any Pride players celebrating, so that is going to be no goal from Carly Taves, but right off of the draw, coming right back in. And I'm seeing Ivo Mocek right below me on the bench. He's not happy with that sort of response shift. And so this will be an offensive zone draw with 51.6 seconds left in the period. It remains a 2-1 game, but definitely agree with you, fans. A bit of confusion there. But now Leary going to go right back in for the circle. She winds up that dangerous wrister. She's been there all night long, and she has a goal so far in this game. Taken right back out of the air from Packer. She sends it to the front again. Save Salander. And man, that connection of passes between Packer and Leary has been just beautiful to watch all game long. And Lexi Lang going to take this face off near side corner. Mestel rims around the boards and now to the half wall. Trying for one final rush, Lexi Lang from the middle, trying to hit Taves into the middle. The Harvard product trying to go to the UNH grad. And now here's Leary, another break, drops it back off Packer, back to Leary, couldn't finish. And what odd woman rushes for this Riveters team. Some great moves. But now we're down to the final 10 seconds. Behind Walters, Cage trying to dig away at it there. That's Torrey Sullivan. But that is going to do it for the first 20 minutes of play. Pride, they did not get the first goal in this one, but they got two in response, courtesy of Mary Parker and Alyssa Wolfeiler, and that is where we stand after 20 minutes, a 2-1 Boston Pride lead. And although they gave up one streak of not scoring the first goal in the game, they kept another one alive with not having a single scoreless first period so far this season, and they will try to keep the most important streak alive 40 minutes from now to get their 10th straight win. But still a lot of hockey to play and a lot of good defensive effort, especially in transition from the Metropolitan Riveters that last period. We thank you, fans, for keeping up with all of that in the first period. And coming up here on Intermission, we're actually going to get some more insight as Marissa Njemi, former voice of the Boston Pride, now with the Boston Herald. She's going to join me to break down all things first period, talk a little NWHL, and I'm sure plenty more. So hopefully you will tune in for that when we come back, but we will take just a brief break for now and be back with some intermission analysis here on Twitch TV. and welcome back in, fans. Hope you're enjoying the chat. Guest here on the Intermission Report, breaking down some NWHL hockey in that first period, Marissa and Jemmy. Many games here with the Pride, now with the Boston Herald, and I think I have to say, first and foremost, as definitely some of the fans in the chat pointed out, your writing on the Pride and women's hockey in the Herald has been fantastic so far this year, and we love to continue to see you doing so.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So looking at that first period, definitely unusual in the sense that Boston did not get the first goal, and until the last couple of minutes, they got those 2 quick goals. It looked like they were a little panicked for a little bit. Rivs coming out with a defensive scheme that I don't think the Pride have quite seen before.
Yeah, and they haven't played the Riveters for a little bit either, so they've had plenty of time to get themselves acclimated and ready for this matchup. But yeah, I mean, the Riveters too, they have only 1 win, but that doesn't really indicate the talent that's on this team. I mean, you look up and down on that lineup, there's a lot of really talented players there, so they're a team the Pride really can't sleep on. They're in more familiar territory now, up 2-1 going into the second period. But I thought Sam Walter played fantastic too. There were so many great chances there. Jillian Dempsey, I thought, had the best opportunity that Walter denied. Parker had a couple of chances before she finally scored. So yeah, pretty good game plan for the Riveters so far, but when the Pride end up in the game, and that just goes to show you the depth that they have, and that's happened all season long for them.
And you get both of those goals from members of the third line, which I think is very impressive and tells a lot about Boston's depth. Mary Parker and Alyssa Wolfeiler getting those tallies. But going into the second period, I wrote down one of my keys for this game is that Metropolitan, they have to continue to allow Sam Walter to kind of be that wall in net, prevent the Pride from getting too many shots in, but at the same time, they haven't really matched that second key to me, which is just take the pressure off of her and do a little more work out in front.
Right, yeah, and the Pride are a tough team to defend that way too, and to your point about the third line as well. I mean, Mary Parker's a top line player on some teams. We saw that last week when she had a hat trick. She got off to such a slow start, and I know Coach Mara really believed in her to get it going, and now I think we're finally seeing that. And that's what happens too, when you have 3 lines you can roll out like that. No matter what the Riveters are going to throw at them defensively, the Pride are going to have their legs, because they're able to put everyone out there in tough situations, while some other teams might only be able to roll out their first or second line and give them heavier minutes. The Pride can go and put that third line out there, and they're facing third pairing defenders, and that's a big difference for them compared to some other teams. So I think that's a reason too, later on in the period, the Pride were playing so well.
But good, really tight in one-on-one defensive action there for the Metropolitan Riveters. And one player I definitely have to talk about them for those first 20 minutes was Kate Leary. Had probably at least 6 chances by my account, either shorthanded or on even strength, where she was given just that little bit of room, rushing in from the left wing and then getting to the front of the net. Some of the passes that were connecting between her and Madison Packer could have been a very different game if they had gotten through Lavisa Solander.
Well, yeah, and Leary's a very talented player. It might be her first time in the NWHL, but she led the Boston Blades in scoring in the CWHL years ago. She's played overseas. She's played at Boston College. Very talented player, and it's good to see her getting an opportunity in the NWHL too. And that's a really good top line. I mean, that's matched up. You can match all 3 of those players up with anyone in the NWHL, and they're going to contend.
When you have one of the originators, Madison Packer, playing with Kaylee Hutchison and Kate Leary, you're going to get offense, no doubt. But we will take our second break for now, and just some final thoughts for you going into the second period. We've seen that the Riveters can be up in this game, and certainly up on this team when you go back to games previously in the season. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast the very first one they played on October 5th. It was a 2-1 lead for the Riveters until very late in that game. A couple of bang-bang goals started from Jillian Dempsey. So is that the kind of attitude you need to play with, being that you know you've held your own with the Pride for 20 minutes, you need to do it again and again?
Yeah, I mean, the Riveters have shown they can be a competitive team. They can play with the Pride, but for them, what I'd worry about is what we've seen all year. Minnesota looked good earlier, Buffalo looked good early. The Pride have their leg throughout the game, and like I said, it's because they can roll out all 3 lines. So if I'm the Riveters, I'm really looking to be cautious of Boston's top line heading deeper into the game, because the top defense pairing for Metropolitan is going to get more worn out a bit quicker. So Dempsey might get chances, Brand might get chances. They're going to have to rely on Sam Walter as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Pride really come out swinging and almost put this one away.
Well, we'll see what happens. Still 40 minutes of action left to go. We have a couple minutes left here in this intermission and then be back for the second 20 minutes. Marissa and Jemmy, I thank you for joining me. Keep up the amazing work, and
Thanks
we will
so
hear
much.
back from you in the second intermission as well. But we'll take another short break for now. And welcome back in, fans watching on Twitch TV and all over the country and really the world. We've gotten quite a bit of international flair on the Twitch broadcast. And getting ready for the start of period number 2 here at Warrior Ice Arena. Boston Pride up 2-1. They get their goals courtesy of Alyssa Wolfeiler and Mary Parker. The lone Metropolitan Riveters goal coming from Kate Leary. And the shots through period number 1, Boston leading in that category 13-8, and both teams also 0 for 1 on the power play. And you're seeing a couple of you in the chat asking about the NWHL All-Star Game location. I think a lot of great ideas have been thrown out there in terms of locations. I have to agree with Anya Packer there. DC would be a great market. And you know I always have to put in some love for my hometown as well, Philadelphia, PA. But any location, you're going to get a lot of worthy candidates, some from both these teams. But they are set for period number 2. Puck is dropped, and we are underway. Riveters control off of the draw. They will send it right into the zone early, courtesy of Mallory Rushton. And Pride trying to work out of their own end, back the other way. And Madison Packer tried to poke it in there right on the right post, seen by Solander, and almost knocked the net over, entrapping Solander. Would have been quite a funny situation, as it was Packer and Mary Parker tied up behind the cage. I'm sorry, no, Jillian Dempsey. An RIT line. An RIT line now out there for the Rivs. It's going to be wrapped around the boards the other way. And stapling it in there right now is Baker. That's finally gotten out by the Pride. They're able to work up. As we talked about, a very good defensive game between both of these teams. And it is definitely getting a little chippy, but that's what you want to expect. And we are in period number 2 here at Warrior Ice Arena, just a minute through. Alyssa Wolfeiler going right in, but offside, as I think Emily Fluke was in there just a tad early. So a stoppage now with just over a minute gone in period number 1. Neutral zone face-off right in front of the Pride bench. Second line out for the Boston Pride, the rookie line. And it's into the offensive zone, near side corner. Lexi Lang trying to dig it out, does so along the half wall. Brittany Wren trying to poke that through, but Tori Sullivan forced back to recoil at neutral ice, and now Genero moves it forward. Sullivan couldn't quite create much room for herself. Now gets it out of harm's way to Carly Taves. Steps around from the circle, stares it out in front. Sullivan tried to poke away, almost lifted it. Top shelf with the backhand. And across center ice, puck goes high into the air. Rose sends it further for Lexi Lang. She gets her stick tied up there with Cassie Dunn, the Philadelphia, PA native. As a fellow native of the 2-on-5, always like to see that here in the NWHL. And Dunn trying to move it forward right in front of her own bench. That's Sullivan all in front of her. Solander out of the net to play it, and she will drop it off for Genero. Up the right wing, couldn't get a pass off to anyone, and the Pride have really recoiled in this game a lot more than games past. A tough Riveters defensive run coming out against them, and that's what they've had a lot of the previous games against this Pride team. Just haven't gotten many of their offensive passes to connect, as couple bodies tied up there. That was Fracken and Leary. As we get a stoppage here, not sure exactly what for. And referees giving some sort of an explanation to Ivo Mocek. I'm not exactly sure about what. And I believe it's going to be a bench minor against the Rivs. Michelle Simon headed to the box. So with 17:30 to go in period number 2, Boston Pride onto the American Giant power play. And I'll have to hear what the official call is, but Boston will gladly take it. 0 for 1 so far in this game. They win the faceoff back. Kratkin to the wall, Brand. And they just call it a bench minor, nothing specific. Now back to Fracken at the point, fires that big slap shot through. Gathered up on the half wall and back now to number 13. She again fires just wide of the cage, looking for a deflection. And right at the side, Soliota's trying to poke away at it, gets it free with the backhand. And I believe net became dislodged a bit there. So that allows Sam Walther and the Rivs to catch her breath. And I believe it was too many women on the ice. And that's the only thing I can think of for a bench minor. And in the corner now. Again, one back out. New deep here out there. Bender and Mastel. Mastel got one off the shins there of Fluke, and she's asking for it. She goes back up top. Walking the line is Mastel. Thinks about sending it right through. One back. Minute 12 to go on this power play. Mastel walking to the half wall, now right into the middle. The Rivs can clear down ice. 16:33 to go in period number 2. And going back the other way, here's Mary Parker. Forced wide by Keys. Now throws on the brakes, sends it back up top. Lexi Bender can set up. Across to Fracken from the circle. That one rises well high and takes a skip around the boards. But still held in by the Pride on the final 40 seconds. From the circle, back up top, Bender. Couldn't find a lane through. Now Fracken, she will take that shot. She's not afraid of any traffic in the lane. And she again gets it back. Half wall, down to Wolfeiler. Behind the cage, Parker. Looking to turn around now, right in front. Fluke couldn't poke that home through Walter's pads. And again, circle. Wolfeiler couldn't get that free. And now Parker, she moves in for the half wall as Wolfeiler now drops it off to Fluke, bottom of the circle. Right in front of the blue paint, couldn't be picked up. Final 5 seconds, and the Rivs will get it out to center ice. But Simon out of the box, back to even strength, so 0 for 2 now on the Boston Pride American Giant power play. We're just about 5 minutes through period number 2. But here is Taves, side of the net, glove save by Sam Walther as she denies Tori Sullivan and the wrist shot. And just every single game she has played against this Boston Pride team, Sam Walther has been team MVP and then some. That first weekend against the Pride, she faced a combined 107 shots in 2 days. As again, trying side of the net, Lexi Lang rung off the post. And good job by Walther getting out in the splits as well. Sullivan keeps that in briefly, but now Rivs trying to go back right the other way. Here is Packer to the half wall and now into the corner. Whitney Wren trying to strip her of the puck, but it goes around to the near side. And Packer takes a big cross check there, and that's going to be a penalty assessed to Jenna Rowe. And Packer, thankfully not too shaken up after that one, but after a killed power play from the Boston Pride, number 12 going to head to the box. And the Rivs will get their second power play opportunity of the game with just over 5 minutes gone in the period. And also looking to get this game tied back up. Got the first goal in period number 1, and they will try to do so here in the second 20 minutes. Start with a combination of Cornine, Baker, and Packer. And back at the point, it is Morse sending it down from the half wall, and a quick clear off the draw, McKenna Brand. So again, the power play numbers coming into this game for the Riveters, 16% against a penalty kill of Boston, around 88%. Both numbers may decrease a bit after tonight or increase. Boston's been perfect so far. Back to the point, Rushton. Down low for Cornine. Pecker shoved into the corner, so she couldn't quite get that puck, but now gets it back. Looking to work farther in, sends it across. Couldn't get that deflection from Cornine. She's scored in, I believe, every game the Riveters have played so far this season against the Boston Pride, sans perhaps that very first game in the period. And Rushton right back in to the corner, sends it out to Soliotis. Final minute of this Rivs power play. Mary Parker trying to work it out and gets it up and ahead. Short-handed break, look out. With the backhand again, glove save! Walther on Emily Fluke, short-handed. And my goodness. Sam Walther doing it at even strength on the power play, short-handed. And like Erica Ayala said to me a few times, perhaps the only thing more she can do in this game, score a goal. But the Pride will get a short-handed offensive zone draw as there's 50 seconds remaining on this Rivs power play. And Morse will quickly get it back for Metropolitan. Starts up with the forwards through the middle as Cornine to her right will chip it in along the half wall and gain the zone deep. One back out to Packer. She backhands it out of trouble. Baker watched closely. And now Packer back at the circle, tries to fire one from the dot. Skips well wide of the net. And again, she takes a cross check in the corner there, but no penalty called to Mallory Soliotis. This game really getting physical, and it has been from the get-go. Mary Parker trying to spring a short-handed chance again. Goes right to Fluke again. Bad save by Walther. And these couple of girls stretching to try to make that pass. Packer, as she dives for it there. Could have been in all alone ahead of the defense. But we are back to even strength hockey as Riveters trying to work it out of her own end. And thank you, fans, once again for clipping together these clips. There's been some really good ones from Sam Walter so far. Is right back in. Good shot from the circle. Fired by Rustin. Went off the mark. And Leary now sends it in front. Backhanded from Taves. And Pride will work out the other way. Here's Lexi Bender. Gets it almost onto the stick to Lexi Lang. And the Pride forwards, they needed to touch up. Ref really making it known to them. And now back out other way, swinging in. Numbers for the Riveters, firing high from the circle, but just off the mark. The attempt from Avery. Again, a fantastic transition game. We've got just over 7 minutes gone in period number 1. Sorry, just over 8 minutes gone. And I agree. Someone please send that last diving Madison Packer play to Anya. I have no doubt that that will be a great source of embarrassment and friendly chirping in the Packer household. All right, T-line out for the Rivs. They win it. Baker trying to move farther through, but just muscled off of that puck by Puccini. She gets it back to Rowe in the middle. Now Dempsey moving in from the circle, tries to work from her off wing. Sent one skipping across the side of the net, but Dempsey takes it right back. Low slot, fires right into the gut of Walther. She makes the save. And Jillian Dempsey has been digging away at an attempt to try to get a goal on that one. But gaining an offensive draw for this top line, Jillian Dempsey with that last shot attempt. She takes the face off here. Unable to quite win against Hutchison, but Brand quickly going to get that puck in the corner. Forced to swing back up top now to Soliotis. Down low, almost a deflection off the backhand of the blade by Putinha. And lost at the circle, almost a scramble for it at the half wall. Fratkin thought she was going to keep it in, but now the Rivs going back with numbers. Moving back in, dropped off for Leary. She's at the top of the slot, went some room, gets it further down low, almost with the backhand. Just missing on it was Hutchison, as she had a near wide open left side of the cage in from Salander. And Leary again trying to pick it up, almost held there and now whacked at by Fratkin, but still down low. Packer trying to swing around. She's watched by number 13 now from the Pride. And right back the other way, a 2-on-1. Brand with Putinha. Brand from the circle, fires just off of the blocker of Walther. Thinking about passing across, took the shot herself, but now that allows the Rivs to go in transition. Shot blocked from the circle, Leary, and now right through a deflection, and they score. Hutchison through from the point, may have been deflected at the last bit by Leary. But regardless of who it is, right around the halfway mark of period number 2, we have a tie game once again. And I believe also maybe getting points on that is the newest Riveter, Anna Keys, her first start in the NWHL. Looking very likely she's going to be getting her first points. And Rivs right back in this one. Lavisa Solander just missed it through her pads with that last bit of deflection. And we're all back to square one with 10:05 to go now in period number 2. Rivs again out their offensive end. An opportune chance off of the skate there. Shot by Parker, handed out of the air by Keys. And now who is going to take the momentum back in these response shifts? And now Fluke from the circle. Only went off of the body, hands it down. A skipper goes in on Walter, but she makes the pad save. The puck was sort of bouncing on a dime there, and it went right through, but Walter, alert as ever as she's been this entire game, makes the save, and we will go to our first media timeout. Back here at Warriors Arena. Hutchison going to get tossed out of the face-off circle there in favor of Packer. And Lexi Lang going to win the draw back from the half wall. Wren trying to push it farther down low. She does so. In the corner, gotten by Lang. Sends one to the front, but it went well high up in the air. Leary getting that one down, but Taves taking the puck away. Sullivan going to do battle there with Kilduff behind the cage. And Sullivan works back out. Taves, top of the slot, fires through. Pad save, charging in late was Lang. Couldn't finish that shot either, as we've got 9:14 to go in period number 1. Period number 2, I'm sorry. It's a tie game, as that one goes easily in, and we'll go back out to the Pride end of the ice. And I also think what you have to talk about is just what a lot of Pride players said going into this week. They said, obviously, this has been a very good year for us so far, haven't lost a single game, but that they've only come out really in spurts, both offensively and defensively. And you've seen the spurts so far get them in trouble in this game. It has it tied right now. We need to put together that full 60-minute effort if they want victory number 10 on the season, and they're going to have to battle for it right now. Off the glass and handed down by Rushton. She goes back the other way. Skates around Putinha. Now some room for the circle. In on Solander. She makes the save. Good wrister from Mallory Rushton out of RIT. No goals this season, but 4 assists through 5 games played. And line change is going to be made for the Pride. Dempsey now going to take it against Cornine. She's able to win it back, firing a quick shot through, only went off of the back. Nicole Arnold, but she keeps it in again at the point. Bouncer skips wide. Bender trying to get that puck from Baker. And now Pride with control. Could have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. They rush up with the wingers. Putinha trying to get in ahead of Arnold. But almost muscled off of the puck out the circle there, and Brand almost held. Tries to backhand it out of trouble. Dempsey going to pick it up. Has Putinha going to the front of the cage. Now back up top to Brand. Couldn't get a deflection through again. Pad save by Walther. But Boston still with control. Brand couldn't quite send it into the middle once again. Putinha will wrap it around the ball. Wrap it around the boards. Brand taking it. She is the goals leader in the NWHL. Horse to her offering. Now backhands it out of trouble. Emily Fluke to it. Still working behind the cage, now out from the circle. Wolfweiler, a shot that goes high off the glove side. Now Rivs trying to work in transition as some late reinforcements came off of the bench for the Pride. Skip behind the cage. 7:33 to go in period number 2. Shatalova now. She goes back the other way. Her wrist shot goes wide into the near side. Parker digging away right in front of the Rivs bench as a couple players get run into there, and it is cleared out of the zone. Gives the Pride a chance to touch up. Banked off of the wall, and now a stretch pass just ahead of Emily Fluke. Forces Walther out of the cage to play that one in the corner, and it goes to Kilduff. Just held by the skates of Wolfweiler there. Fluke able to chip it across to Mary Parker. A good, evenly matched game between these two squads. And now Parker from behind the cage, trying to whack away at that as she's in a battle with Dunn. Fluke to it. Again, can't center it in front of the net. Parker almost saw it, as did Walther, trying to stick it out of there. And just updating you on the shots on goal total, it's now 25-14 in favor of the Pride. Near side circle. Carly Taves working with the backhand. Now top of the circle, Rowe. Couldn't send one through. 6:12 to go in the period. Boston really working in the offensive zone. Some tired legs starting to develop for the Riveters. Again into the middle. Misconnecting with Lexi Lang. And now off of the half wall, it will be sent back down the other end. And that will go for an icing, so another offensive zone draw for the Pride with 5:55 to go in period number 2. And no, there is no penalty for the goalie touching a puck in the corner for the NWHL. The trapezoid may be painted out there since this is a Boston Bruins practice facility, but non-existent in this league. Shatalova takes the place in the face-off circle, and the Pride win it back. Estelle thought about a shot, send it down the half wall, but beyond Coutinho. Dempsey gonna pick it up. She roars in for the corner, gets it circle to circle. Brand couldn't finish. Now the backhand try again. Big save in that split for Walther. It's getting right in her face was Jillian Dempsey. And almost didn't have her stick for a second there, did Walther. Pride still buzzing offensively across the blue line from Mastel to Bender. Gets it down to Putinha. Now up from the circle, Brand fires top, and it gets sent out of there, but not cleared. Almost like a power play for the Pride right now. As Brand again circles, top of the slot. Again looking for a deflection, doesn't get one. Pokes down, saved by Walther again, it's still loose. Comes out. Riveters looking to clear here. And what a job, Sam Walther. Pride right back in. Here's McKenna Brand, top of the circle, again firing it through. Great defensive play right in front by Dunn. And now some numbers for the Rivs. 2-on-1. Fratkin back pinching. Leary gonna be forced wide. Great defensive work and a sacrifice of the body, Kaylee Fratkin. But Hutchison, she still holds it in. Puck goes to the opposite end, the near side of the ice. We've got 4:34 to go in the period. Back up top. Morse couldn't fire one through. And now Dempsey could be going back the other way. She's got to stretch those legs. Gets it from the circle. Looking to move in, but watched all the way by Arnold. Has to touch up. Across. Soliota. She goes right in front, and they score! The offensive pressure had been coming for the Boston Pride. And finally, with a great stretch pass across, able to tap that in. Emily Fluke on the tally for the Boston Pride. And they go back up once again in this game. It is 3-2. Zone entry worked to wonders for the Boston Pride on that one. And Dempsey with a really athletic hustle to get us to the opposite circle. And Emily Fluke finishes that one, her 5th goal of the year. Her 9th point. And could become the 11th Boston Pride player to get into the double digits on points so far this season. So a late goal in this period as we've got 3:46 to go. And now what can the Riveters do once again in response? They've done so twice before as the puck gets touched for an icing call right there. And that's the only thing, I think, from a commentator's perspective, working against the Boston Pride right now is that they're keeping the Riveters around in this game, and they have been so strong defensively. And even though down on the scoreboard, Sam Walter has been all that and then some. The back out to neutral ice. Pride forwards has to touch up. Mastel tried to send it farther through. I believe went out into the bench. Yes, it did. Caught by McKenna Brand, and she will send it back to the referee. And Fluke perhaps getting payback from that goal that didn't go in earlier in the game, as it looked like it was touched by Harley Taves. That was the latter stages of the first period. And Pride with control of the puck now. Bender, good pass to Lang. He drops it off for Sullivan. Couldn't get a shot off on the circle. Back to the point. Bender with some room, sends it high, gloved out of the air, but not cleared out of there. And behind the cage now, Lexi Lang working with it. She got a good backhand to one of her teammates there. Trying to send it up ice now. Rushton couldn't quite spring Baker. And Rushton almost picked it up at the half wall there. At center ice, Riveters going back the other way. Here is Baker. From the circle, tried to backhand her right in front. Rating was Kendall Cornine. Couldn't get that wrist shot off. Virginia White back for Boston, forced wide by Arnold. Now she tries to swing in, taken off the puck by Morse. Up the half wall and out the opposite end. The Rivs clear it out. But right there is Kaylee Fratkin. Dumped the puck right back in behind Walter's cage. Dempsey trying to get to it from Morse, almost picked up by Brand. Soliotis from the half wall, down low. McKenna Brand out to Dempsey, fires one-timer. Again, glove saves Sam Walter. And if you can feel one coming for any player on this team, it's got to be Jillian Dempsey for the Boston Pride. But Sam Walter again with those red brick pads keeps all shots out. Boston, a win on the face-off circle again. Wolfeiler trying to get it up the half wall, almost lost control, and now the Rivs can play it just as far as the red line as Fluke takes it back. Wolfeiler again swinging in. A couple of good stick moves there. Gets the pass into the middle, but too far in front of the net was Parker. Again, Wolfeiler holds it in. A great shift for her, almost tipped at the side by Emily Fluke. She was looking for her second of the night. And in the corner, she sends it back to Soliotis, walking the blue line now across to the circle. Can set up Parker for a one-timer. She will get it out of harm's way to Wolfeiler. Now backhands it through. So we've got a minute 24 to go in period number 2. Again, top of the circle. Wolfeiler tried to go back to Soliotis, who was right there between the hash marks, but didn't get a shot off. Fluke now double-teamed as she's stabled against the far side corner. Just going to shuffle it along with her skates. Now gets it free. Forehand. Wolfeiler developing some room. She fires from a bad angle as we're into the final minute. Parker out right into the middle. Wolfeiler again. She couldn't get a shot off, clogging those lanes, the Rivs defense. And they will take it back the other way. Leary, she has a goal in this game, trying another drag. Tried it on the glove of Solander. She had a couple good stick drags there to enter the offensive zone, but couldn't finish with a goal. Parker hacking away at that puck, getting some help from Sullivan. Right in front of the end of the Rivs bench. Into the final 30 seconds. Whitney Wren going to take it out, chips it off of the glass. Still, Leary doing her best to hold that in and get some help from Rebecca Morse now. From the corner, possibly one final rush for the Boston Pride. Taves going to chip it ahead. Sullivan trying to create some room, but lost it in the skates of Nicole Arnold. Hasn't quite gotten the clearing job done yet as Lexi Lang holds that in the final 5 seconds. And Cornine just going to try to hold it. And that is how we will end 40 minutes. Looked like it was going to be a tie game, but once again, the Boston Pride answer late in that period with a goal from Emily Fluke, her 5th of the season. And that is where we stand now, just a 1-goal lead for the Boston Pride. And given the defensive effort from the Riveters and, of course, the play of Sam Walther, this game is far from over, as we will have plenty to talk about. Marissa and Jemmy going to join me again soon. And it's now a 2 full shots lead for the Boston Pride through 40 minutes, 31-15 in that category, and both teams still searching for a power play goal, both of them 0 for 2. But fans in the Twitch chat, you've been great, especially in that period. The game is certainly lit, as Erica Ayala says, and we will have plenty more of it to come, but we will take a little bit of a break for now. Be back with Marissa and Jemmy to break it down and talk some more keys of how the Riveters could get back again, once again in this game, if the Boston Pride can finish. All that and more after this. And welcome back in here on WHL Fans. Here once again in Intermission with Marissa and Jemmy. And both of us, we saw quite an exciting second period there. And what we have to talk about first and foremost, I think, the Rivs defense playing with so much more sacrifice, I think, in front of Sam Walther, and this attitude that they're really not going to let the Boston Pride push them around any longer.
Yeah, and they're playing with a lot of confidence because of the way Walter plays in that, too. I think they're not afraid to jump out in front of the puck. They're not afraid to put themselves in that position because they know if they are out of position, Walter's going to be there and make the save. So I think their confidence in their goalies helping a lot, too. But, yeah, just as an aggressive team as the Pride have faced all year long as far as teams coming at them and really kind of playing with some authority. It really feels like there have been parts, especially in the second period this year, where the Pride have faced some teams that kind of withered and died in the second period. This time, the Pride go ahead, the Riveters answer right back. The Pride aren't used to facing that either. Now, a 1-goal lead for Boston heading into the third period. We'll see if the Riveters have their legs in the final period. I think that's what to watch for the most.
Well, they have gotten it tied up previously in the game. Did so earlier in the second period, a goal courtesy from Kate Leary. And then, like we've talked about with this Boston Pride team, just that spurt of overly aggressive energy. They had been getting so many offensive chances for a solid 3.5 minutes of offensive shifts, and finally poking one home at the doorstep. Emily flew off a very good pass from Mallory Soliotis, and also getting assist credit on that one. A girl you said has been so underrated, not only with her defensive play in this game, but possibly her entire career here in the NWHL, Kaylee Fradkin.
Yeah, I just don't know if people outside of people who watch like the Pride every game really appreciate what a stunning player Kaylee Fradkin is. She does so much. Defensively, she broke up a great 2-on-1 in the second period. She played the physical game, sometimes toes the line a bit, ends up in the penalty box plenty. But she really drives the offense too. The Pride, they've gone through 3 coaches now, but ever since this team was established, so much of their offense runs through the blue line. This year, they're more forward heavy than they have been in years past, but Fradkin still creates so much on the blue line as well. And I don't want to call her underrated outright because I think women's hockey fans are smarter than that, but she's someone who I don't think is in the conversation nearly enough as one of the best players in the world.
Absolutely, and when you have her sort of captaining the big blue line that came back this year for the Boston Pride, I think early on it's shown so much difference of not only how disciplined they've been, but how much chemistry they've managed to have as a group defensively.
They have so much chemistry in general. I mean, I've talked to Jillian Dempsey and McKenna Brand before the game as well for a story, and both of them brought up, and so many players have all year, just how much everyone in this group wants to be here this year. And I think that says a lot because obviously so many players did leave the league this year, but everyone on the Pride wants to be there, and they have that chemistry. They hang out off the ice. Brand is telling me how she and Dempsey worked out in the offseason as well, and it created a lot of chemistry. And then specifically on defense, so many of these players are coming back. Lauren Kelly not in the game tonight, but she's coming back. Lexi Bender's been there from the start. Fradkin's been around since midway through year 2. So there's so many players that have just been there before, and I think it's a big reason that the Pride really lasts deep into games as well.
And just looking at a couple of questions from the fans just trying to get to it, and this was one I actually was not sure if maybe you could share more insight into it for some of the newer fans. Does the NWHL have any sort of scouting teams or representatives whatsoever that can scout out NCAA talent? Because you have a lot of great schools obviously around this area for the Boston Pride and the entirety of the NWHL to show from.
Previously, that was Haley Moore's job for the entire league, but now she's with the Pride, obviously, right? So it's a little different now. I think she goes out there a little bit for the Pride. I believe the coaches do. When the Pride's previous head coach, Thomas Polk, was here, I talked to him a lot about going to a lot of the New England schools and scouting players out. So I believe it's really up to the coaching staffs.
All right, well, as we tick down to just a few minutes to go here before intermission, going into this second period, again, that shot total low for the Metropolitan Riveters. I know when Anya Packer was here for me, she said that was the big key for the Rivs, kind of staying in these games with the Boston Pride. They just need to have their shooters shoot, in her words. And there have been plenty of girls in this game. You think about Kate Leary specifically, Nicole Arnold from the blue line. Plenty of girls have not been afraid to fire a ton of shots on goal and get Lavisa Solander out of position. But now I think you need to get that total from 8, 7, all the way up to around 17, like what the Boston Pride are doing.
Yeah, down by a goal, you would expect the Riveters to come out firing. Typically, a team down in the third period is going to have more shots regardless, but that's definitely something for the Riveters. I mean, we talked about this before we went on air. They didn't bring back a lot of players. That's a group still getting familiar with each other, and they've just had a month off as well. So they're really finding their game still. They're probably looking to find their shot a little bit in the third period. Down by a goal, I would really expect them to come out shooting.
Well, not too much rust so far as they've gotten 2 goals past the Boston Pride. Actually, a very interesting point of statistic that no team has put up more than 3 on the Pride this season so far, and the last team to do so were the Metropolitan Riveters. And you talk about that win streak, Pride going for 10 in a row. Fans also may be familiar with the last team to end a massive Boston winning streak back in season 2.
Oh yeah, that's when the Pride almost went undefeated. The Riveters beat them on the last day of the year, and then of course the Pride end up getting defeated by Buffalo and Brand McLaughlin in the Isabel Cup here in Massachusetts. So Pride fans are very familiar with the Riveters stopping the Pride runs a couple of times.
Well, it's going to be a lot of action if the first 2 periods are any indication to come in the final 20 minutes of regulation, but we will take our one final break for now and be back with the call when the players return to Warrior Ice Arena. And welcome back in, fans of the NWHL, to Warrior Ice Arena, getting set for the start of period number 3 between the Boston Pride and the Metropolitan Riveters. I'm Sam Tryman, happy to be with you on the call here on Twitch TV. And boy, has it been an exciting game so far. Boston up 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. And it's been very tightly contested. Riveters is their first game in a month, and they have shown very little signs of having any rust. Down on the scoreboard right now, but they've gotten back into this game multiple times. They had the early lead in period number 2, got it tied again. In period number 1, got it tied again in period number 2, and then able to answer late with a goal courtesy of Emily Fluke for the Boston Pride. But that is where we stand. Puck is dropped, and here we go for the final 20 minutes of regulation. Opening draw, and it's a defensive pair of Soliotis and Fratkin trying to work it up and ahead. Top line out for the Boston Pride, as that one will be iced early on, 16 seconds in. And back down into the Riveters' end. And I agree from that, from the fan chat right now, buckle your seatbelts. And tell us who you may think will get the next goal in this one. And maybe that next goal is the winning one. There's a quick shot off of the shins, and getting her own rebound was Arnold. And that one goes wide of the cage. Leary picks it up at the half wall, tried to send it farther down low, but the Pride will get to it and clear it back out to Morse at center. Right in front of the Rivs bench, it's battled for. Dempsey going to take it back. A couple players were at the end of their shift, so Emily Fluke in there without reinforcement. She gets stapled into the corner. And now she'll get her teammates to come help her out. Almost took the puck away there from Morse was Mary Parker. Bender keeps it in low. Packer onto it for the Rivs, sends it only as far as center. And Fluke right back into the zone. This third line has been responsible for every goal in the game so far, as that one covered up by Walther. And Sam Walther, she has now made 29 saves on 32 shots officially. Again, really earning her Brick Walther nickname, as she's done in really every game against the Boston Pride this season. Cornine trying to get it in the corner. Lang pestered her. And now right wing. Brooke Baker, she's going to dump it in. And around the wall, we'll look for a combination of Cornine and Rushton, her former RIT teammates. But Boston Pride takes control as we're a minute and a half through period number 3 now, and now a 2-on-1. Taves with Bender across, and a great defensive play. Anna Keys to get in there as another shot fired through. She's the newest addition to the Rivs. And that was what she brought from the college game at Minnesota State. She was the school's all-time leader in block shots with 83 of them. And she shows you just how tough she is right there on that last play. And half wall now. Pride trying to dig it out. Almost held in by Dunn. And now Rowe taking it back in for the Pride. Ridden into the wall there by Kilda, but still keeps control of the puck. Centered it out for no one in particular. But Puccini is going to step onto it. Half wall. Dempsey trying to work it free. She almost got tripped there, but it's gotten back just to center by the Rivs. And I think that last play by Keys, just a great example of how strong the Rivs have been in this game. Is a big shoulder-on-shoulder collision there between Rowe and Kilda. Puck comes free. Pride still get control of it for now. But back through center, Rushton. As Dempsey coming onto her, she halts right at the blue line, and Putinha is going to take that puck away and go right back in transition. Putinha accidentally drops it off for Dempsey. She lifts it, top shelf, and scores! Wasn't exactly intentional, the drop off from Christina Putinha, but the captain had been searching for one all night, and she finally gets one on the board. Just about 3 minutes in, it is 4-2 Boston Pride. And what a goal indeed for Jillian Dempsey, as that will be number 6 for her on the season, point number 16. And Christina Putinha again on the assist list, and she's now in the double digits in that category, her 10th of the year on the helper. So the first 2-goal lead of the game for the Boston Pride. First 2-goal lead for either team. And now it'll be about not getting that foot off of the gas. As the Pride come right back in, Wolfeiler got a bit of an elbow there from Morris. Riveters can't take it back the other way with control though. Send right back into the zone, no ice signals the referee. So play continues behind the cage, getting to it, Colleen Murphy. And up ice, Tatiana Shadalova. From the right wing was run into by a combination of Taves and the referee there as she was along the half wall. And kicked back out where Anna Keys will recoil. So trying to work in response, Hutchison in over the line. As that one gets covered up by Solander in the glove. Stoppage with 15:45 to go. And a jinx in the chat I'm seeing. Galpal Sports looks like a goal spoken into existence. And that one, in case you missed it, coming courtesy of Jillian Dempsey. And it's got the Pride to a 2-goal lead, but the Riveters look out, they're going right back in. Bouncer came in on Solander's chest. He was able to get it out of there. Hasn't had as many highlight reel saves, but now look, Tori Sullivan ahead of the defense, forehand, backhand, save! Sam Walther, my goodness! And once again, adding to the highlight reel, this time on Tori Sullivan, looked more like a shootout attempt. Now intercepted there. Ribs going back the other way with numbers. They had a 2-on-1. Couldn't be gotten across from Arnold to Avery. And the Pride will go back the other direction. Whitney Wren across the blue line as Lang behind her now halts at the half wall. Gains some room, sends it across to Brand. Just missed the one-timer down low. She came in from that right wing, and now the Riveters will clear. And those great setups are working for the Pride as the puck gets iced right here. But finishing those other goals has been a tough test to come by, as Sam Walter has just been the brick wall. I'm sweating here watching this game, as am I in the commentary booth. Even though the Pride do have a 2-goal lead currently, plenty more can happen in this one. From the half wall, struggling to keep that in against 2 ribs is Jillian Dempsey, and finally it's pushed back with quite a bit of effort by Baker to center and now into the Boston zone. And Rowe trying to turn away from Cornine to get that puck free and out of the zone, and streaking to try to get that was Putinha, and now in a big race for it, Dempsey, but Walter will get control of that puck first and easily cover up. And Pride, they've really come into this period with a solid push. Got a goal just over 2 minutes in, courtesy of Jillian Dempsey. And they've kept that aggressive nature up to really try to take control of this game and not relinquish it. One back to the point for Fratkin. She fires that big slap shot just wide. Already has a point in this game, an assist. And Mary Parker going to take it back out. She leaves it, Wolfeiler trying to wrap around the cage, but now we'll go all the way back up top. Gives it off Soliotis, has some room at the circle, drags and holds, lifts the shot and just high. Boston still with control with 13:36 to go in the period. And a loud slapper, you can always hear those from Kaylee Fratkin, even way up here. Good cutoff of the pass there by Murphy. But Boston, a huge saucer pass all the way down to the other end. Parker going to race to try to get that from Keys, but she will clear out to center, but just beyond Cornine. So a bit of a feeling out process this last minute or so as Tori Sullivan dumps it in, but cleared right back out. The Pride in their final home game of 2019 here in Warrior Ice Arena. There's a couple of good stick moves there from Sullivan. She gets the puck free but couldn't get a shot up. Now a couple of passes being left. Rowe couldn't get anything off from a bad angle. Hutchison, though, couldn't clear. Marissa Raspa into the play. As Hutchison works past the Pride players, she goes in all alone. Coming with her right to the front of the cage there was Michelle Simon. But she's stopped by Solander, and a couple of players too may have taken a bit of an exception to how hard she was charging in on the netminder. And it's back to slightly modified top line out there right now. Leary and Packer still a part of it, but the new one in there is Brooke Avery, who was listed as starting on the third line for this game. Pride trying to go back, almost had another Dempsey brand 2-on-1. Good defensive effort by Morris to hold them to the side of the ice. Routinian near side corner trying to get it free. Half wall goes off of Dempsey's body, and she takes a little tumble there with Avery, but now side of the net, bad angle try from Putinha, couldn't go. Pass picked off there by Dempsey, good backhander try, Brand scores! What a beauty of a pass from Jillian Dempsey as she came through the slot, fed it backhanded, and waiting at the side of the cage to remain on brand will be McKenna Brand, her league-leading 11th goal of the season. And she puts the Pride up now 5-2 with 12:04 to play in regulation. Spectra Fed Sen, you said it, eyes in the back of her head with that pass. That was pretty. And now Pride going right back to work. Here's Parker coming in. That flip to her left, but she sends that one well high into the netting. Erica Ayala chipping in as well. It ain't a Pride game until McKenna Brand scores. Amen to that. It'd be pretty tough, actually, to find the game this year in which she hasn't scored. But she has one to make this a 3-goal lead for the Boston Pride, their largest of the night. And Riveters really going to have to put together some answer shifts now for head coach Ivo Mocek. Have it in the offensive zone currently. In the corner, trying to dig it out. Combination of Russian and Kilduff. Kilduff sent it to the front of the net where Cornine was asking for it, but not to her stick. Pride right back through the middle. Jenna Rowe with numbers. Has some players coming behind her. Backhanded in easily, seen by the glove of Walter. And also, if you haven't seen it, Erica Ayala also reminding me of a fun interview she did with McKenna Brand recently up on the NWHL Twitter account of some of her favorite things on and off the ice. You can check that out if you haven't already. One back to Fratkin, top of the circle, teed off a slap shot, just went off of the stick of Carton Bay, it looked like, at the last second. Rivers building speed up the right wing. Shadalova lost control of it. Picking up her mistake was Hutchison. She swings in. Fratkin with an elbow all over her, makes her lose control of the puck, but no penalty there. And Shadalova now back from the top, sends one just high of the cage. Good battle along the half wall, and now Fratkin will send it out. Easily in on Walter's net. And she plays it away, Anna Keys. Again, making her NWHL debut. Gives a big giveaway there to Putinha, and if she had hit Brand tape to tape, this could have been 6-2. Brand from the half wall drops it off to the captain, Jillian Dempsey. She gets her right back out in front. Brand missed on it, and it's cleared down ice. Approaching the halfway point in period number 3. But still a lot of faith from some Rivs fans in the chat. They could easily get 3 goals in 10 minutes. Why not? Almost another takeaway there by Dempsey, but it's going to be just held in by Bender, streaking up the bench. Fires one in quickly. And I think she was saying also to Brianna Mastel, had to catch my breath a little bit. rushing in from the bench to keep that one in. But a job well done from number 5 on the Pride, gaining an offensive zone draw for her team. But the Riveters with control off the draw. Wolfeiler trying to muscle Arnold off of that puck, but she gives it away to safer shores, Rebecca Morris. On the left wing around the net, Massa and Packer going to pick it up as Mastel all over her. Gets it free to Avery. Almost a good centering pass to Leary out in front of the cage. She's one of the Rivs goal scorers so far tonight. And now Mary Parker trying to get some room back in transition, but forced on the backhand and off of the puck there by Morris. Excellent hustle keeping up with her. And one of the hottest goal scorers of the Pride in the last few games, Mary Parker. And she gets it right back, centering right out in front to Fluke. She was trying for her second of the night, and now a late hit from Morse. Fluke going to take exception to that. As a late hit was applied. But the referee's going to call that off quickly. And there's the feistiness that had been missing just a little bit from the first couple of periods of this game. And Wolfeiler was on the receiving end of that, went down just after the whistle had been blown. And for that retaliation, Fluke is going to get a trip to the penalty box, along with a member of the Rivs. Didn't quite see who, but I have to assume it's going to be Morse. It's going to be body checking the official call on Fluke. And updating you also on the shot total now. It's 40-19 in favor of the Metropolitan Riveters. And I will give credit to the Rivs for having a month off, staying relatively disciplined in this game, albeit apart from that last sequence. But it's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes, 9:26 to go in period number 3, as both Emily Fluke and Rebecca Morris are the guilty parties in the penalty box. So a lot more open ice for these players to work with. Just getting some final chats from the head coaches, Ivo Mocek for the Rivs, Paul Mara for the Pride. And nothing to show on special teams so far for either teams. No power play goals. All successful kills for both of these squads. And finally, they will get to work. Dempsey in the face-off circle against Cornine, and Boston will take control. And 2 minutes for roughing, the official call on Rebecca Morris as she sits. Here comes Cornine. Forced to her off wing by Kaylee Fratkin. She takes the puck away from her. Another great defensive play. And where's the A for good reason does Kaylee Fratkin. Now McKenna Brand, she tries to build up the speed. Around Colleen Murphy, almost chopped off of the puck there. And this game is definitely getting a lot more physical. Big saucer pass that went beyond Cornine. And that one goes down in for an icing for good measure. Back into the Rivs end of the ice. And wish I had a statistic on the exact time spent in the offensive zone. You have to imagine it would be definitely more Boston Pride so far in this game. And Rivs now into the middle. Again, Cornine going to try to go one-on-one on Bender now. Wrist shot goes high. Behind the cage. Mastel picking it up for Boston. A minute left on 4-on-4 here. The penalties assessed to Fluke and Morse. Keys couldn't take it back the other way. Wolfeiler will send it up. And now Mary Parker, she gains the offensive zone. As Wolfeiler coming, was thinking about a backhanded pass to her. A little off the mark. Bender forced just beyond the blue line to keep that puck. And the forwards touch up. Backhanded in. Valerie Soliotis has Parker going to the front of the net. Good inside-outside move. Tries the wraparound. Just failed on it with the backhand. 27 seconds left to go in 4-on-4 as Cornine again tries to do it all herself. Can't get into the offensive zone. Allows both teams to make changes. Kratkin up the right wing now. She will do it all by herself. Rims it around the boards. Will try to go and get her own dump in. She does so, now leaves it for Lexi Lang. Two Ribs players all over her in the corner, Arnold and Packer. Now Packer will take it back out. Both Fluke and Morris out of the box. We're back to even strength with 7:23 to go now in regulation. Ribs trying to get back in this game. They're down 3. Lexi Lang takes it back, tried to spring Taves with a pass, but Arnold cut that off quickly. And a good question of if DiMartino may start tomorrow for the Rivs. Not sure about that one. They've had tremendous confidence in Sam Walter all season long. Have the Metropolitan Riveters, and she's once again faced a ton of shots in this game, but she's kept the Rivs in it from start to finish. As a big hit behind the play. Didn't quite see the initiation of it, but quickly calling for the medical staff are the Riveters. And that's Madison Packer down on ice right at the circle. Gonna try to get up under her own power here, but she's still feeling something. And she's gonna skate off under her own power to the applause of the fans. But as she skates right in front of me now, not looking too well. And it appears as though she will go right back to the locker room. So a very tough loss for the Riveters to lose their captain late in this one. And we hope for good news when we get it. But the game continues, 6:39 to go now in regulation. Pride up 3, and they have control of the puck right now. To the right wing. Ran stretching to get that before Walter, but it's easily in on her, and she'll cover up for a stoppage. And of course, fans, I will keep you updated if Madison Packer does return to the bench in the late stages of this one, but given that there's 6:31 to go, I'm not thoroughly convinced that will happen, but we will see. Hockey players are the toughest out there. And if anyone is tough in this league, Madison Packer has to be top of the list. And thank you, Mike Murphy, also for the clarification. Looks like Packer might have taken a cross-check to the ribs, so thank you very much on that one. But just may have hit her in a vulnerable spot. Baker just going to keep that in for the Ribs, but now it's dumped back out to center ice. Morris waiting for the forwards to touch up, lost control, the puck in her skates. Wasn't quite sure where it was. Now Jenna Rowe skating with it. And she's another one of those players I will give a big call to so far in this game. She's logged a heck of a lot of minutes. Obviously, a lot of the D may do so with Lauren Kelly out of the lineup tonight for the Boston Pride, but she's made some great plays happen as Jenna Rowe has fired shots on net, and part of the reason why the Pride have the lead they do. Riveters just looking to get some passes connected up the right wing. They can't do so far. 5:17 to go now in regulation. Bender, a big stretch pass. She was looking for Parker on her left wing. Now she will get it back. Can't quite send it forward. And this game definitely calmed down a bit since that hit on Madison Packer. Good bit of back and forth action. Riveters in their own end with Cornine from the wing. She gets it free. Baker now asking for it. Keys pass just beyond her. And Bender will be back to it. She's logged a pretty extensive shift so far here. And she will again wait for reinforcements behind her own cage. Left wing, Brianna Mastel. Goes into the offensive zone. Now Halston back up top, Tori Sullivan. Across, Kratkin slap shot again off the pads of Walter. You can hear it up here. And Morris only as far as just beyond the blue line in front of the Ribs bench. Sullivan going to send it right back in, giving it chase Marissa Raspa. And again, interesting that there was not a penalty call on that hit. Possibly the refs didn't see it till late. O'Rudd initiated that hit. And thank you, Mike Murphy, for also clipping that clip for all the fans to see in the Twitch chat for more clarification. And referee telling the Riveters forwards to touch up allows Boston to work back, but Fratkin lost control of that. Shadalova almost went to it. They've kept good control of the puck the last few minutes, have the Rivs, but they need quite a few goals to get back into this one as they've got only 3:34 to go. That one easily seen and held by Lovisa Solander. And as I had mentioned earlier in this one, Boston Pride, this is their last game of 2019 in Warrior Ice Arena, as their next 7 games will all be on the road. They won't return here to Warrior until January the 12th. But looking good so far to close out their 2019 time in Warrior with another victory. Have another 3:22 to get through. A good cross-ice pass. Putinha going to dump it in and send it to the offensive zone. Pride good to stay to the perimeter. Dempsey couldn't hold that one in. Avery will work out to Baker. RIT line out for the Riveters. Here's Baker firing a shot, went off of Wren's body, but she collects it and tries the wraparound. Almost lost in the pads of Solander, but she sees it at the last second and covers with now exactly 3 minutes to go in period number 3. Back up top, Ribs off of the face-off draw, got caught in the body of Fluke, the shot by Arnold. And Russian take it back, couldn't quite feed it to Avery. Mary Parker gonna go back the other way with lots of speed. Trying to turn now around Arnold, she does so, does Mary Parker from the circle, fires high but wide. And that one will shoot all back out. Bender in a good race with Avery, but Avery will get to that puck first, swings right in with a forehand, she missed as well. So some great speed chances back and forth. The likes of Mary Parker and Brooke Avery showing it off as that one almost batted out of the air by Cornine. And it was played with a high stick, so that faceoff will come out. And holy speed indeed. Full change going to be made for the Rivs, as it's that line of Rushton, Avery, and Baker still out there. So sorry, didn't make a change. The Pride did. Keys holds that in at the point. Little spinorama as Taves tried to apply the hit. And Lang now being ridden into the wall. Keys trying to touch up on that puck as quite a battle between a couple of players. Going to be a delayed call here against the Rivs as finally Baker touches up. And it's going to be holding on Amanda Keys, the recent signee out of Minnesota State from the Metropolitan Riveters. She will sit for the remainder of this game as that penalty is called with exactly 2 minutes left in period number 3. So barring a goal, the Pride will tick down to the final second of regulation on the power play presented by American Giant. And they win the face-off draw here. Soliotis tees up a big slap shot sent high into the air by the pads of Walter. Dempsey now tries to create some room. Far side circle, sends it down low. Putinha tried to meet Brand out in front with the pass, couldn't do so. Baker trying to get that puck away, still with Boston control at the half wall. Fratkin walks the blue line. Slap shot just wide. Rebound almost came out to Soliotis. And not quite seeing that puck was Rushton, but the Ribs do get it cleared. And Dempsey right back in. Brand trying to get from the corner. Takes a good elbow from Morse there. Trying to whack away behind the cage. 1:17 left on the power play. The same is left in game time. Putinha leaves it at the circle for Dempsey. Tried to backhand a pass, but no one was home. And Morse will clear down ice. So Kaylee Fradkin picking it up against the aggressive forechecking Brooke Avery, and that's going to be another penalty assessed as the Ribs touch up the puck with 55 seconds to go. And Mallory Rushton, the guilty party on this one. Apologies that I thought that was Leary. But Rushton, you can't blame her for trying her darndest late in this game, just trying to get some fire stoked with the Metropolitan Riveters, but now a late 5-on-3 for the final 55 seconds of regulation now. See if the Pride can maybe add one more. Get the touchdown, as the fans might call it. Able to make a tight circle now. Bender back to Lang up top. She sends one. Glove side, Parker gets the rebound. Out to Wolf Island. Final 40 seconds of play. It will all happen on the American Giant power play for Boston. Across to Bender, just missed her stick tape. And she falls down trying to hold in that clearing attempt, and it will be sent down ice. Lang across center, just dumps it over the line, and actually iced it. Trying to dive for that play late was Emily Fluke. Good effort on the slide. But just 14.9 seconds left in period number 3. And we thank you fans who have stuck with us all game long here in the chat on Twitch TV. You've seen an exciting one. It's going to be one out. Pride going to be content to just kill the clock at this point. It's rushing right back in for Emily Fluke. May try the buzzer beater. No, she will not. But that will do it. 10 wins in a row for the Boston Pride, but they really had to sweat this one out until the third period. Another win for Lavisa Solander. She keeps up her very impressive stats as she will now take a break to participate in that Four Nations tournament for Team Sweden. And she may only miss 1 or 2 games, but Victoria Hansen has proven she's a very capable 1A. And the Rivs, again, a great defensive game, a terrific performance from Sam Walter, but just couldn't get as many goals as they wanted to beat the Boston Pride. They fall 5-2, and their record slips now to 1-5-0. 2 points on the season. But it was their first game in over a month, so there's going to be some growing pains, but being that they've still played the fewest games in the NWHL, plenty of room for improvement, plenty more opponents to get through. But for the Boston Pride, there still has not been any slowing them down. And for the final time in quite a while here at Warrior, inside, outside, inside, to salute the fans. A great team win all around, getting you the final shots on goal total, 43-23 in favor of the Boston Pride. They also go 0 for 5 on the power play though, so possibly a small little thing to work on. And now a big road trip for the Boston Pride, as I mentioned, and a bit of a big road trip for me. This is a bit of a goodbye for 7 weeks, as I won't be able to join you fans on Twitch TV, but you'll get plenty of great broadcasting voices, whether you're watching these Boston Pride games or Riveters games, Connecticut Whale games, Buffalo Buttes games, Minnesota Whitecaps games, what have you. And I must say, for year number 2 for me personally, it has been a pleasure to see how this new broadcast partnership with Twitch TV has gone, how great the Boston Pride obviously have done so far as we get you your 3 stars. And the 3rd star with the goal in this game, the captain, Gillian Dempsey. Her 6th of the season. Mary Parker, 2nd star honors, another multi-point game for her, continuing her hot streak. And the top star, also with a multi-point game and some great defensive physicality, Emily Fluke. And as the crowd empties out here in Warrior Ice Arena, we will say our final goodbye as well to all of you fans. I will see you in 7 long weeks A great game, a great crowd. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you won't miss my commentary too much. I'll be sure to watch along with all of you the next few weeks for the Boston Pride. But signing off for now, I am Sam Tryman, and we will catch you back in January here at Warrior Ice Arena. And for now, enjoy the rest of the NWHL.